What's up guys, Jimmy here with another Lots of Games video. Today I'm going to be going over episode 3 for super fun PS4 games. And guys, if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely click on that thumbs up button so I can know to make more. And thank you so much for watching this video. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube, and for you guys to take the time to watch my videos. I love making these videos, but for you to actually take the time and watch my videos is it's awesome. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? First up is a game I have digitally, so I did my own custom cover, and that is Child of Light. So Child of Light is a side-scrolling RPG with incredible visuals. Actually, a lot of the development team that created Far Cry 3 was responsible for Child of Light. Quite the contrast with the two different games, but in Child of Light, you play as Aurora, who wakes up in another world and fights her way to try to reunite with her father. Now, I have to say, growing up playing RPGs on the Super Nintendo and also the PlayStation 1, I really felt right at home with Child of Light. The game has just an amazing artistic feel to it, and I love how early on in the game how you get the ability to fly and to just explore at your own leisure. The combat is turn-based, and as with other RPGs, in Child of Light you can unlock new abilities to help you get the upper hand when you encounter and enter into these battles. Right now, actually, you can pick up Child of Light on the PlayStation Network for $14.99, and every once in a while I see the game on sale, and it's such a fun RPG. It's got a great soundtrack. You know, it's at a just great price point. Definitely a no-brainer, guys, if you're into turn-based RPGs with something a little different. Games like this don't come around all the time. It's definitely recommended, highly recommended by me. Definitely check it out. So next up is a game that actually was my second favorite game for 2014. A fantastic open world game, and that is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Developed by Monolith, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is a just incredible open world game that takes a darker approach to the story or the Lord of the Rings franchise. This game reminds me of games like Arkham City, Assassin's Creed, Sleeping Dogs. In terms of the free flow combat, Shadow of Mordor seems to kind of just raise the bar even higher. At times, guys, you're going to be fighting dozens of orcs. The action is just intense, it's fast, it's furious. Even the dark, muddy areas, just the visuals looked incredible. Even you'd think like dark, muddy areas wouldn't look too appealing, but somehow Monolith hits a home run with this and makes the mud and makes the grime look awesome. I've seen Shadow of Mordor in stores for around $30, and guys, this game really does shine on your PS4. It's a definite must-buy if you have a PS4. Just definitely worthy to add to your collection. Okay, next up, we've got another open world game, one of my favorites again of 2014, and that is Far Cry 4. So back in October, I had the opportunity to go to Ubisoft in San Francisco. I spent about 4 hours with this game, and as I was coming home, traveling home, I was thinking about my time with Far Cry 4, and I just could not wait to tell you guys how special I thought this game was. And since then, I've had the chance to do a review for Far Cry 4, and let me just say, just first off, in the game, it's an awesome setting. You return to your homeland in a fictional place called Karat, kind of like set within the Himalayas. And you're there to spread your mother's ashes. And right at the start, you are greeted by the country's dictator, Pagan Min. And Pagan actually has a past with your mother, which you'll learn about in the story. And you've got a lot of choices to make in the game. Who you're going to fight for, who you're going to kind of, where your allegiances are going to line up with. And if you are a fan of huge open world with lots of variety, lots of side missions, lots of explosions, and lots of humor, you definitely need to get this game. Within a short amount of time from starting Far Cry 4, you're going to have a lot of different options early on. And as you play throughout the game, you have a lot of different options on how you're going to get from point A to point B, from cars to hang gliders, from elephants to gyrocopters. In Far Cry 4, the traveling was something I really, really enjoyed. There are tons of crazy weapons that you'll get to unlock to even your odds against Pagan Min's army. I just really enjoyed this game. Definite must buy. Definitely check it out, guys. Okay, next up is a game that it's actually hasn't been out too long. It actually was released this year. I received a copy from Deep Silver digitally, so I made my own custom art here. And that's Saints Row 4 Reelected and Gat Out of Hell. So Deep Silver was kind enough to send me a code to download not only Saints Row 4 Reelected, but also the standalone expansion Gat Out of Hell. And you get both of these games on a single disc. And let me just say, if you were looking for an open world game that is fun and hilarious, look no further than Saints Row 4 Reelected and Gat Out of Hell. In this combo pack, you're getting tons of content. You're getting Saints Row 4 with all the additional content, but you're getting the standalone expansion, Gat Out of Hell, which is a whole new area for you to explore. I absolutely just love the humor in Saints Row 4. But I also love how fun and responsive the gameplay is. There's never a dull moment. There's so much variety in these missions, which I love. Now there have been actually many moments playing this game, playing Saints Row 4 and Gat Out of Hell. I found myself laughing out loud. Just absolutely loved the humor. I also really loved the musical parody that they did, parody of Frozen that was in Gat Out of Hell. I thought that was so good. Guys, if you want a game that's fast-paced, over-the-top action, look no further than this game, this collection on one game that you can pick up at your game store. Saints Row 4 Reelected and Gat Out of Hell. So much fun and so funny. Okay, next up is a fantastic survival horror game, Alien Isolation. Here's a great example of a game that was given low scores by lots of critics, while most of the gaming community fiercely disagreed with those scores. In Alien Isolation, you have a first-person survival game with lots of creepy moments. I know I had the chance to review this one. I mentioned in my review on how, for this game, Alien Isolation gave me a similar feeling from when I first started playing Resident Evil 1. Whereas you don't have dozens of enemies coming all at you at once, nor do you have just like tens of thousands of rounds of ammo and tons of different weapons. In Alien Isolation, you have to maneuver your way from point A to point B. You have to collect resources very quietly in most cases. You craft items, craft weapons so that you can survive to the next stage, to the next area. There's a great level of atmosphere in the game, and I'm just so glad that I didn't listen to the negative reviews, and I decided to find out for myself if this game was for me, and it definitely is. It did not take long for me to realize this, guys. Definitely check out Alien Isolation if you are a fan of survival horror games. It's in first person. Call of Duty's in first person, but very different in terms on how you're going to finish the level. Definitely check it out. Okay, next up is a game I was able to get because I was a PlayStation Plus member, and I got to download that one because I was a PlayStation Plus member, so I got my own cover art for this one to show you guys, and that's Injustice: Gods Among Us. Developed by NetherRealm Studios, Injustice: Gods Among Us is a top-notch fighter. The game's story takes place in an alternate reality where the Joker sets off a nuclear bomb destroying Metropolis, and you will get to fight with lots of different heroes and villains. Now, even though this game was created by the same studio that is currently making Mortal Kombat 10, there's not the level of gore that you would find in Mortal Kombat, like the fatalities. However, NetherRealm Studios make sure that the action in Injustice: Gods Among Us is fast and furious and so crazy. Some of the special moves, guys, are just so over the top. I really am a huge fan of fighting games, so I've played a wide variety of them, but this one definitely has stood out as one of the better ones I've played. Very impressed for it. Okay, next up is a game that was released last year in November, and that is Assassin's Creed Unity. So here's a game that unfortunately had technical issues when it was launched. Since then, there has been major work done in terms of patching the game, but let me just say to you guys that I really enjoyed the pair setting in Unity. I love the next-gen visuals. They looked awesome. I also had a blast playing through the story. I really did. I don't know, running across the rooftops never gets old to me. I know that Assassin's Creed, it's known for that, doing the parkour, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, but it looks great in Unity. And in Assassin's Creed Unity, it adds a co-op experience that you can play with up to 3 friends and take on a variety of missions in Paris. The Paris setting is massive, and there really is so much to do. Being able to climb Notre Dame or the Eiffel Tower were some of the more impressive moments for me. And as mentioned, the game unfortunately had a rocky start at launch. And although I had experienced some of those tech issues, I found that a lot of gamers out there had a lot more serious issues, which I feel really bad about, that made the game unplayable for them. But since then, there's been major work done to fix the patches and fix the problems, and it really is a fantastic game. And to be honest, some people might call me crazy, but this is honestly my favorite Assassin's Creed game I've ever played. Guys, it's such a fantastic game, and with the issues for the most part resolved, I highly recommend, guys, that you give Assassin's Creed Unity a closer look. Okay, so my final game is actually a game that was released. It was basically one of the major last releases of 2014, and that is The Crew. Set in an open world racing game across the United States, The Crew offers tons of content to satisfy your racing thrills. So to my surprise, The Crew actually does have a story mode. Before the game launched, I only knew that The Crew offered a racing MMO experience that you could race across the state with your friends. So there's also some narrative to the game, which I actually enjoyed. So as mentioned in my review, guys, The Crew is a very fun racing game, but at the time of reviewing it, I really couldn't recommend it at the $60 price point. Although it was fun, it just wasn't enough in terms of paying full price. But since then, there has been price drops. And guys, if you see The Crew at a decent price, definitely pick it up. It's definitely worth having your collection, especially if you're into racing games. Something a little different. It's open world in the United States. Got lots of cool landmarks in the USA. And there's a lot of cool, exciting action for you guys to check out. And it's definitely worth picking up if you could get it on the cheap and get it at a reasonable price. Well, guys, there are 8 super fun games you can get on the PS4. Thanks for watching episode 3, and if you guys missed episode 1 and 2, I'll include those links in the video description below. And guys, for episode 4, for super fun PS4 games, let me know in the comment section below what games you want me to cover or talk about, and I'll definitely make sure to consider that. Definitely leave a comment in the section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, for all your support. I'll catch you guys later.